All right. This one, we're just supposed to come up with the equation, and they want us to sketch a graph for this. All right. So based off the information that I've got here, I probably have some better graphs than those crap ones I've been sketching. Here, much prettier. All right. So the focus for this thing is at 2 and -2, 0. So I got to go over 2 and up none, and back 2 and up none, and that's my foci. What's that mean that my center is? Okay, so HK is 0, 0, because it's going to split the difference of those foci. What is C? 2. Good. All right, I got that. All right, and then they tell me that the length of the major axes is 6. So this is going to be a side-to-side or an up and down? Long ways or up and side? Yeah, long ways type. So if the length of the whole major axis is 6, what's that mean that A has to be? 3. Because I'm going to have to go 3 out on this side and 3 out on that side. Good. So now I have enough information that I should be able to figure out what my B is. So we know that it's A squared equals B squared plus C squared. I don't know why I squared my 9. So there we go. So if I subtract 4 from both sides, I'm going to get 5 equals B squared. That's important. We're going to need that in a minute. And then if I take the square root of both sides, B is going to be the square root of 5, which is approximately 2.1, 2.2. All right, so basically all that means is I got to go up 2 and a little bit, and I got to go down 2 and a little bit. So now I can put in my perfectly drawn ellipse. Mine used to look like diamonds, because I just could not put enough curve on them. So I have to cheat. All right, so I get that, and then that's my picture, and then I also have to come up with the equation, and we know that it's going to be x squared plus y squared in the top equals 1. It's long ways, so where's the larger of the two numbers? Under the x, and it's got to be a squared, so this is going to be my 9, and then my b squared, which we found right here, is 5. And that's my equation for that ellipse.
I forgot 5. So gross.
Yes. All right, let's try this one. My graph. All right, so this time I have vertices at 4 and -4, 0. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, my center is going to split the difference there, so the HK is going to be at 0, 0. I already have my vertices, so what's A? 4. Now, I'm told that the y-intercepts are at 1 and -1. Well, that tells me B. Right? Because this one has, that wouldn't help me normally, but because this one's got its center on the origin, that's actually going to tell me what my B is. So now I can easily come up with what my foci are going to be. So I've got A squared equals, keep doing that, A squared equals B squared plus C squared. Subtract 1 from both sides, I get 15 equals C squared. Take the square root of both sides, and C is going to be the square root of 15, which is going to be almost 4. 2, 3, almost 4. 1, 2, 3, almost 4. All right, so let me get my, that's terrible. Let's try again. There we go, better. All right, so we got this long ways one, and I still have to come up with the equation for this. So we know it's an x squared plus a y squared in the top equals 1. It's a long ways one, so the larger of the two numbers is going to be under the x again. What will go under here? 16. How about b squared? 1. Right, that's this squared. All right. And there's my equation of that ellipse.
So A is always your long side, and C is your focus.
Yep, and B is always going to be the distance from the vertex to the short side. All right, new section here.
You mean the origin to the short side?
Well, no, I mean, in this particular case, it turned out to be the origin to the short side and the origin to the vertex. But it's always going to be where the center is. So even if I moved this thing up here, it's still going to be from wherever the center is to the outside edge. That'll still be my B, not from the origin to wherever my outside edge is. Does it make sense to you? All right, this one's just unique because the origin happened to be the center as well. All right, what are we doing in this section? I'm sure we got new directions here. They want us to find the center, find the focus, find the vertices, and graph it. Okay, well, first, probably help if I had a proper equation. So what should I do with this one?
Move the 11 to the other side.
Okay,
Split up the x's and the y's.
okay, I can do that too. So 9x squared minus 18x, I'm going to leave some space, plus 4y squared plus 16y, leave some space, equals that 11 that I moved over there. All right, so if I want to complete the square here, well, first of all, what should I pull out? A 9, leaving me back behind with an x squared minus 2x, then plus what to complete the square? 1. But what am I really adding?
9.
So I'm going to have to add 9 over here to this side too. All right, what can I pull out of here? Leaving me behind with y squared plus 4y plus, what do I need to complete the square? 4, but what am I really adding?
16.
So I have to add 16 over here. So this whole thing is going to equal 36. We added quite a bit. All right, now I can factor both of these. So if I factor this one, I'm going to get 9 times x minus 1 squared plus 4 times y plus 2 squared equals 36. What should I be dividing everything by?
36.
Because I want this to be a 1. Now it's a 1. So that means I have to divide all of this by 36 as well. So these will cancel and I'll be left with a 9 down there. These are going to cancel and I'm going to be left with a 4 down there. And now it looks more like an ellipse. Is this an up and down type or a left and right type?
Up and down.
How do you know?
I don't know. I separated something either one.
Okay. All right. So what's A then?
All 3.
Come on. A is 3. Good. So what is B? 2. What is my center?
1, -2.
1, -2. Okay, so we could start graphing some of this. So I go 1, down 2. It's an up and down type, so I know that my A, or my vertices, have to be at 1, 2, 3 away. 1, 2, 3 away. And I know that my B is going to be 2 away. All right, so we can already get my shape here. Let's help myself out here a little bit. Better. Okay, and then, so I need to start listing some of these points because they actually ask for the vertices. All right, where are the vertices going to be? Well, 1, 1, and my other one is at 1, -5. Okay, so I've got that. We've got my center. I got my vertices. The only other thing that they wanted was the focus. So the focus is going to be a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Subtract 4 from both sides, I get 5 equals c squared. Take the square root of both sides, and c is going to be the square root of 5, which is approximately 2.1-ish. All right, so up 2 in a little bit, down 2 in a little bit. There's that. Now, if I want the actual points to that, don't work very hard for your focus points. Because at this point, if I were to try to figure out what these actual values are, it's going to be some weird decimals. You don't have to work that hard. do exactly what you did to figure out where to put the foci on the graph to figure out what their coordinates are going to be. What did we do? We started at the center, all right? So we know that they're all going to be 1 something, right? And then we went down here where I started at -2, and then we went plus or minus square root of 5. That's good enough. It's way easier than having to try to come up with the actual decimals. Does that make sense to you? All right, so start with this point, all right, and then figure out what you went up or down. Or if it's a left and right type, then this one will be a plus or minus whatever your C was. So there's your focus. So focus, vertices, center. All right, I think we just had one more. All right, same idea, except there's a lot less stuff here this time. I don't have any constants to move, but I can put my 9x squared minus my 18x together, plus y squared equals 0. What can I pull out of here?
9.
Leaving me behind with an x squared plus 2x. I feel like we just did this one. Plus what?
1.
What's it really?
9.
Okay. All right, and I don't have anything over there with the y, so what's that mean about the y? What's k going to be?
0.
0, because I didn't have any moving around. Let's keep going here. So I got 9 times x minus 1 squared plus y squared equals 9. I wish that were a 1. Divide both sides, everything by 9. And I'm going to get y squared over 9 equals 1. And then over here I got plus x minus 1 squared over 1, because these will cancel. All right, is this a left and right type or an up and down type? Up and down, because my bigger number is under the y. What is A?
3.
What's B?
1.
Center?
1, 0. Or 0, 1.
Close. H goes with the x, so it's 1. Yeah, you were right the first time. So it's 1, 0, HK. 1, 0. So here's my center. And then you told me that it was an up and down type, so A has to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Down 3. 1, 2, 3. B has got to go over 1, back 1. All right, so my vertices I've already got. They're going to be at 1, 3. And 1, -3. All right, so there's that. Here's my center. The only thing left to get is my focus. All right, so the focus is a squared equals b squared plus c squared. 8 equals c squared. I'll take the square root. C is going to be the square root of 8, which is 2 square root of 2, which is approximately 2.8 or so. So I have almost 3 and almost 3. All right, so there's where I put it for my picture, but if I wanted the actual coordinates, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I know that everything's going to have an x value of 1, and then I started at 0, and then I went plus or minus 2 square root of 2. There's my foci. Starting to get these a little better? They're not too bad. They just take a little practice. All right, so I got a couple more for you tonight. Same types of problems. Same ideas before. So 20 through 55, multiples of 5, but you've already done 30 and 45. Except for on that, who knows what you did. You had a 31 randomly thrown in there, so.
That was the only one.
No? Okay. All right, so you have 6 more tonight.